gentlemen, welcome to an exclusive live stream here at the Vance Center. I am Benjamin Burke. I go by BenOfficial Filmz. That is my cool Filmz alias names with a Z. I don't think anybody approves of my Z at the end, but here we go, BenOfficial Filmz am I. So welcome, thanks for everybody who did show up today and who's going to show up in the future and who's going to watch this later on or in the future. Again, same thing, same kind of concept, and this is why I'm doing this, because this is what I do in my passion. You can record things, you can set up your camera, your phone, and just record it, save it for later, post it at any time. And anybody at any time that has the capable technology of watching it back can look back at these and learn something, experience something, and move forward. It's maybe inspired. We want to inspire people to move forward with stories. And today is the beginning of the photography course that I'm doing today. I want to have 2 TVs, but this is the beginning of everything. Everything has to have a beginning, like stories. So. This is a little bit about me. This is photography basics. Hopefully everything is working good. Give me a second to do a double check with everything. So some people streaming, some people not. Some people sending data. Other than that, I'm gonna go to these chats just in case I miss somebody. But welcome. I'm BenOfficial. This is my logo. I don't know if you can see that or is it even good enough. It's actually pretty faded now I can see. But I work with Flow Elite, ESPN, Warner Brothers, Vanguard, AV Visuals, shout out my boy Ty, Stream Sports, to name a few. Ross Mobile Productions, ABC, Disney, a lot of live broadcasting things I've learned, and with the production companies that I have learned from, they have been teaching me a lot about setting up cameras, audio, lighting, the run of show, producing, directing, making sure everybody feels comfortable, and I've been learning everything to where I am now. Now I am in the Philadelphia area. Today I'm in Norristown, and one of the studios here is Vance Center Studios, I would like to call it, where we have 3 camera setup. We can do podcasts of any nature, and on the other room, I'll probably take you there later. We got drums, guitars, basses, beat machines, pianos, keys, you name it, and I can't wait to do some cool musician live streams. So let's get into it. That's a little bit about me and beginning and let people crawl in, and hopefully it looks okay for the people. All right, so going right into it. Welcome again. I'm Benjamin, BenOfficial Filmz. With this live, I'm only using one camera, and the Osmo's following me, which is nice. But I want to set up 2, and then also, I don't know, I didn't do this live stream on the whim, so you just gotta look at this screen, unfortunately. But these are some of my pictures I did here. Some examples I did there. Pretty much the course outline of what y'all gonna be learning today is what is photography, brief history of photography, some camera basics, types of cameras, some composition techniques, some lighting photography, how to focus and get sharp images, choosing the right lenses, basic photo editing tips, and hands-on activities. We're gonna be trying to do that. We're gonna be rocking with the T7i. Here, we have 5 of these, so y'all can come in here and touch them and play with them. Got a lot of wires here, gotta move. But this is the T7i Rebel. Pretty much your basic, standard, nice DSLR camera. You know what I mean? It comes with a nice 10 to 18 wide lens. It's time to zoom in and out. We also have the 50mm that we're gonna be going back and forth with. But this guy right here, it's nifty. It's kind of fixed in here. It's good. It's good. I'm gonna show you some photos later. Hopefully I can do some close-ups. But photography is the story I failed to put into words exactly what I was trying to tell y'all earlier. Is a story. It's a story of how we can keep things together. So photography is art, man. It's a science, a practice of capturing light to create images involving using a camera to record moments, to tell stories or document reality. All right, we tell this thing to tell stories and document the real things. Journalism, the news. What you watching right now on your phone or your TV, you be scrolling, watching what people record on a camera. It's what it is, it's what is happening, it's just what's going on, and I'm here to help you learn it and teach it right now. We got portrait, we got street, we got landscape, we got photojournalism, and we got creative photography. Okay. Those are like the main things that make a photography going on. You know what I mean? You can do it as a hobby, as an art form, or as communication. You know what I mean? As far as a hobby, people do it for fun. You know what I mean? They got their day job, but they go out and they love animals, or they love birds, or they love how the ocean waves hit, and they want to capture that. As a hobby, you know what I mean? As an art form, some probably use it for artistic expression. Just like you painting strokes and stuff like that. The same way people paint the strokes and draw 3D and make stuff move. You can it's an art form. You can take a picture of that nice landscape, put it on the frame, and you can't tell me it can be comparison to the hand drawn. Even respect to the hand drawn, because that'd be some stuff. And as communication, as a powerful tools for journalism, documentary, social media, marketing, and personal storytelling, right? So how do people gonna know you? Through how you're recording, through how you processing what you put into people and what you're putting out, communicating. Imagine the news. How are you gonna get information? Through what people is recording and putting out. Photography. That's that's why photography. Portrait, wildlife, commercial, and landscape is pretty much the four, I would say, genres of the main photography you're gonna get. Portraits, let's go into it. Portraits is how one would remember one's face. Thinking of the presidents, or somebody important, somebody monumental. Of course, you got some paintings going, but when technology found in what they say in 1940s, what does it say? Daguerreotypes replacing expensive painting portraits. The 1850s, 19s saw the rise of cabinet cars and tintypees. That's crazy. That's crazy. See, we learning something together. Me and you, we all gonna learn together. That's the history. I'm born '93. You know what I mean? I'm kind of young, but I'm old. But the history, we need to learn that together, right? In the 20th century, studio portraits and Canon styles emerged. Digital photography in the 20th century. Photography and revolutionized self-portraits and selfies and stuff like that. Excuse me. Before this camera be acting this. Come on, AI, you gotta keep up. All right, going right to it. Just give you a brief history before we going into it. If you come here, this is trying to make it an hour and a half, 2 hour class. So just a little brief history of why you're doing this can help. You know what I mean? Push you forward into helping other people tell their stories, and not only your stories but others. All right. I hope everything is working good. I hope y'all can hear me. What's going on here? Wildlife. People really, really love wildlife. The first wildlife photographer appeared in the late 1800s. My fault. 1800s, as cameras became more popular and portable. In the early 1900s, photographers like George Shiraz and Ansel Adams pioneered wildlife and conservation photography. Back when I went to school in Full Sail, I learned a lot about Ansel Adams, and he did a lot of mountain tops and landscapes. I don't know if you imagine Utah or California or a lot of the flatlands and hills and valleys. If you just step back and just snap those, it's a lot of, I guess you can I guess you can say he's in a lot of textbooks we learned in school. All right, portraits of wildlife, right? Commercial. Of course, when the industries of current marketing and advertising, and of course, we start having commercials, right? So early 1900s, the rise of magazines and printed ads and commercial photography grew rapidly. Companies began using stylized photography. So try to advertise more with the look of what's now, the trend. When stuff, now it's algorithm, boom. They try to figure out how do you sell stuff to people at an early age, you know what I mean? Or at some stuff going on. All right, moving on to portraits. Oh, we just did portraits. We did that. All right, moving on. 48% of students prefer film. 52% of students prefer digital. I think I'm one of those 52. However, film is never going to die. If you look at centers, that was shot on film. If you, I want to give you some more, but I don't think y'all can really tell. But you just can't match the real texture and physicality of a film going through light like you can SD card. You know what I mean? Obviously, I had some film, so you know what it looks like. But an SD card versus film, a physical going through it is different. It's different. The light's capturing it on a physical film, and you can't duplicate that. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. I'm getting nerdy with it, but here we go. And imagine it's a lot of money. Film is physical, so you got to keep buying it and getting stocks and reloading and all that good stuff. This you can just delete, add more, delete again. It's less cost efficiency and labor, unfortunately. 85% of digital photos are taken with a smartphone. The reason why I put that there because it's 2026 and everybody's taking pictures with their phones. This is good. This is cool. This is actually one of the first cameras that I got in 2012. When I was learning about photography, I got the Canon Rebel T 2i. This is the 7. I had a 2i when I guess the iPhone 2 or 3 maybe was coming out, right? So there you can take your pictures or whatnot, but it wasn't as it's going to be a little blurry, Android-ish kind of feel. But with this, it's going to be clear. However, now in 2026, your iPhones and your Samsungs, they are taking really, really good phones, really, really comparable to this, and it scared me back in the day, but now I'm just used to it, and we got to adapt to it, we got to just move on, we got to make content with it. I got more cameras for me and you, why not? All right, so same principles that I was going to teach on basic photography can be applied to the phone. Certain apps that I'm going to teach y'all to get, so you can have the same kind of settings on your phones. I got an iPhone, and also I do have an Android. It's playing a little of background music that I don't know if it's working or not, but yeah, we're there. Let me just check this. Check the stream real quick. For some reason, I gotta check that Vance Center, but it's being recorded, so it's cool. If anybody hop in the chat. It's cool. And I said it was gonna be happening at 12, so maybe I'll do this again at 12. Whatever. And again, if you guys want to come every Mondays, I believe we're gonna start at 12. We're gonna start at 12, 214 Church Street, right here. You guys can pick up a camera, play with it, test it, pick a spot. I got a lot of activities we can do. And as you see, we're gonna run this real quick. 85% using the phone. There you go. There is 4 types of cameras, pretty much, so to speak. DSLRs, these guys. With mirrorless, I don't think I have one on me. I left it on, but a mirrorless like the Sony FX3, A7 III, A7 IV, A6000 Sony's, or even the Canon's R5s, R1s, the mirrorless cameras that's coming out. The only difference is the DSLR uses a mirror system and optical viewfinder Great for high quality photos, interchangeable lenses, and manual control. The mirrorless actually is a compact and lightweight with no mirror mechanism, offers a fast autofocus electronic viewfinder and excellent image quality. The mirrorless cameras is really good at low light. I mean, for me, it's really, really good at low light. I wouldn't get this and I go to, let's say, getting some nightclub footage or some late night, with landscape footage. I would go with the mirrorless. It does as faster autofocus. This is what it is right now. But DSLRs is still good in the game. It's still good. I can show you some pictures and take some pictures and show you, and I think you're gonna agree that it's a really good camera. Smartphones, of course, highly portable and always accessible. Modern models offer impressive image quality with advanced AI and editing features. All right here, all through the app system, which is on your phone, which technically makes sense. And not dumb at all to use. And then a film, we're usually talking about film uses photographic film to capture images, valued for its classic analog feat and unique timeless aesthetic. So the analog feel, of course, it's analog, it's digital. You're gonna have those respective differences of the two, and I think it's cool if you marry them together or utilize them both and make projects of content with both mediums. Do that. All right, so your equipment, I will be giving you a camera, a lens, and a cleaning kit, which is just gonna be some wipes. But we got 5 cameras. Each person will get to hold it. Boom, everybody get to hold it. And a lens, I believe we have 4 lenses. 1, 2, 3, 4. And one person's gonna be missing out, but we can go over these settings. These settings here. So I hope everything's moving quite along. But right here I got these pocket guides. T7Is. They kind of teach you a little bit about if you want to get more in depth with, what the camera is, where the buttons are, and whatnot from the top and the sides, and why, and all that good stuff. Everybody can pass it around, read it. I did have 5 for each camera, but unfortunately, I don't know. Somebody took it for some reason. I don't know why. What they needed with this if they don't got the camera. I don't know. I guess they can learn some stuff. However, with that being said, we should go right into the 3 things that we need to know how to shoot. This is the meat and potatoes of this whole class. This is what we all need to learn, what to use to shoot and how to shoot. So I'm gonna try to use the TV for everybody here. I have the laptop in here. I have the camera in there. Let's put a battery in here. So I guess if you guys want to learn this with us, this is the T7i. 10 to 18. I'm always getting 18 to 35. I don't know if I can show y'all on here if this is gonna be appropriate, but not appropriate, but you know what I mean. It's gonna look right. Battery at the bottom. I'm gonna plug that in there. Like I said, once y'all guys get in here, y'all can touch it, fiddle around with it. I'll show you exactly what to do, and y'all guys know how to shoot it. Once the battery get in here, turn it on from up here. Make sure it's on. We're gonna put a manual mode here. M's for manual mode. And yeah, we're gonna look at our guy and see what's going on. So let's see what it looks like. Let's see what it looks like on the TV. All right. It's gonna take a miracle. Whoa. It's gonna take a miracle. I think I put an HDMI too. Oh, let me turn it on. Turn it on. Alright, get a little closer so I don't have to move so much. Boom, no card in camera. Hope y'all can y'all see that? I hope so. No card in camera. It's black. Why do y'all think it's black? Why y'all think we can't see it? Anybody? Anybody can tell us why you think we can't see this right now as I get the SD cards out? Boom. Oh, right. Boom. Easy squeezy, lemon squeezy. Y'all can see that, right? On and off. On and off. All right, cool. Sometimes that is a common mistake, which is, you know, we're human. We're human. We're human. We make mistakes. We make mistakes. All right, so we're gonna put our SD card here, which happens to be in the same way the battery goes in. It's just right behind it, and a little tiny skinny slot for it. Push it in, and you're gonna put it right on our little trusty tripod. It's trusty, not hefty, it's just trusty, at least for this camera. And let's see if I can, this looks good. Let's put it way over here so we can shoot at the same time. All right, so boom guys, we got our camera up. It's connected through a mini HDMI to a female HDMI, and then I connect it to here, and now we can kind of see what's going on, right? Let me double check on my end. There's not enough space for recording. Oh my god, that's so sad. I think it might have went away. Give me a second, y'all. Let me see if I can at least do this. No, I can't do it. I think my hard drive had like disconnected, so we're into, maybe I can record now. Boom, so it's recording, so that's good. I don't know when it started, but we're going to the meat and potatoes. We're going to the meat and potatoes of this whole class here. So if we're gonna use our camera for a subject, right? We need a subject. We can't really shoot anything empty because we don't know what's going on. We're just gonna be shooting empty air. So I always recommend get a subject, whether it be a camera, a mannequin head, a light, your little brother, your little sister, anything. Get a subject. Make sure you're shooting something. Make sure you're shooting something. All right. So first three things we're gonna go over is aperture, shutter speed, and ISO. So that's three things you need to know. The meat and potatoes of what you need to know of this whole photography course is aperture, shutter speed, and ISO. That's for every camera that you're gonna be touching. Every camera that you're gonna be touching. So I don't think y'all need to see. I wish I could see both, but I need the two TVs, which I don't have. But aperture is the depth of field in the camera. So whatever's going to be your foreground in front of your subject, and whatever's going to be behind your subject, like those chairs in the back that you see right here, if I zoom in, those all is affected by your aperture, which is your f-stop. You know what I mean? The more shallow the depth of field, the higher the f-stop, or the more closed in that it's gonna be. So it's kind of like backwards if you think in math numbers, if you have dyslexic or whatever. So say for instance, one aperture that is, sorry, let me put up the display, because this is just a blank. So if I put up displays, you can kind of see these numbers popping up, right? So we got here at 80, which is mean 1 out of 80 shutter speed. That's our shutter. 1.8 f-stop. That's our aperture. And right here is an ISO of 200, which is our image sensitivity, optimization, which is really just mean brightness. We're gonna go a little bright or less bright. It measures the camera's sensitivity. All right. Let's push display one more time in the back of this camera, and you get more kind of information going on. Can you probably see that? Let me back it up a little bit. More information as if you're on automatic focus here, AF, automatic white balance. Here's some stabilization or some light things. And then you're on 1920 by 1080, 30 frames per second. I got at least 29 minutes in this car here. So let's start with the aperture still, 1.8. So the higher I am, the more depth of field you see, the more of how blurry that background is gonna be versus not, right? So let's try to change the aperture. With this, the T7i, you can hold the AV button, and you got a scroll wheel at the top here. So I don't know if you got a T7i at the house, but a scroll wheel here at the top while holding the AV button on the back. I don't know if you see that, but boom. And I don't know if you noticed, but as I lift this from a 1.8 to a 2.2 to a 2.5 to a 2.8 to a 3.2, as you can see what's going on the screen, right? It's getting darker. It's getting darker. As it gets darker, though, I don't know if you can see it, and of course not, because less exposure means you can't see it, right? We need the exposure. We need to light it up more. But as you see, we get darker. We lose light, and we're adding more. I guess you can say more. Not shallow depth, but the opposite of shallow, which I can't think of right now. But you get more of the depth to kind of play with. I don't know if you can see. Let's let a little more light in with some lights. So so that's how you do it. And learning these three things is how you know how to adjust the light. Excuse me. This is a practice. We live right now, but I'm doing the things. All right. Shutter speed. We notice that it's getting darker and we're losing the depth. All right. Next is what we're gonna do. Shutter speed expects motion blur. So motion blur, how fast a guy is moving. You know what I mean? Right now, I don't know what I'm on right now. Maybe that's 30 frames per second. But this right here is 1/80th of a shutter. So you know what I mean? How fast you got. So imagine track stars running, or imagine, here we go. Let's turn this towards me. I'll be the subject. Well, yeah, I just put my hand in front of it. Or cars, NASCARs, or motocross. You want to keep this pretty high. Excuse me. As you see, how you change shutter speed is just the wheel at the top by itself. The wheel at the top right by itself. As I change it, you see it's getting, it goes all the way down 30. I take it up, and you see I'm going up to 100 to 200, 250. It's getting darker. And that actually, as I go up, it allows more motion blur to be captured and seen. As I go less, you see more motion in my arm or the car's motion. So, for example, we don't have a moving subject, right? We don't have this camera. If this camera, the subject is not moving, so we don't necessarily need to have to capture that. Give it a second. I'm just rambling on. All right. So boom bap. Shutter. 40. Next thing, so we got a shutter, right? We got an aperture, which we know how to change here. Let me let it more or less light. So as we change the thing, you're seeing that it's getting, we're getting more light. We're getting less light. So these are the things that we need to change when we have a job or when we're shooting something or one of our projects. We need to know, we need more light or less light. So with the camera, starting from the camera, you can adjust. Starting with these two, and then we're going to move to ISO. And I do this last because as a rule of thumb, you will want to start with the ISO and kind of keep it there for the rest of the shoot. Have all your cameras on the same ISO, and then work with your shutter speed and ISO, or the lighting department and have them say, we need more light, but throw in some more light here. We like our cameras right here, throw in some more light. You know what I mean? That's how you should run it. All right, so ISO, as you see here, the button is the Q. If you got a T7i, it's a Q button, and then the Q, you can go right into your ISO. So you go to this Q button, and then we can just raise up the ISO. As you see, from 400 to 800, more light. As we go down, 800, 400, 200, 100. Auto, auto is cool, but we are going to be professionals, so professionals do it manually, and we know exactly what numbers to hit so we get a perfect exposure, right? So boom. Keeping my shutter at 60, keeping my aperture at 1.8 ISO. It's a little dark. I would jump up that ISO to maybe 400, and boom. Of course, you gotta get that focus. That's automatic focus. No manual focus. Oh, there you go. Make sure our subject is, people can know what that is, Make sure it's kind of lit. If you think it's not too bright enough, let's go with one more. But then we don't want to overpower our whites. We don't want to lose details in these whites here. And we're not losing too much. It's just bright, and you can kind of see the shadows in the corner over here. Again, we just tell our subject, yo, face our way. Face me. You have to face this way. Face a light or something. It's bright. I don't like the brightness, but just learning. We're just doing exposure, shutter speed, ISO, y'all. Shutter speed, ISO. All right, cool. Moving on. Any questions at all? Just stop me, holler at me. Let me know. It's pretty simply blimbly stuff. Simply blimbly things. All right, going back to this here PowerPoint, and we talk about all the Aperture is opening the camera lens. That's in light. It's like the pupil to your eye. When it's dark, it opens wide. When it's bright, it gets small. Measuring in f-stops. Shutter speed is how fast or slow the camera takes a photo. It controls how motion looks in your picture. It's measured in seconds or fractions of a second. ISO controls how sensitive your camera is to light. Think of it like turning up the brightness in your camera's brain. Same kind of deal. Photography versus taking pictures is what I've been trying to teach you guys too. Learning how and why you're using your numbers can really affect how you get your shot and how you want your project to be told. Whether it be using the effects of motion blur, using the effects of depth of field, or just even being super bright while something is dark, or being super dark while the other thing is bright. Pretty much adding contrast really can help tell your story and what you're trying to really portray, to be honest. Let's talk about rules of composition. So let's go back. If we talk about rules of composition, I'll start recording again for some reason. It's not recording. I'm gonna just do this and kind of stop and trying to see what's going on with this recording, because I really need to be recording this, even though the live is gonna record itself. Or whatever the case may be. Rule of thirds. Rule of composition. So rules of composition is always to be kept in mind. That's how you're gonna stand out from the rest and tell your stories, and tell what your story is supposed to portray during the video. Framing, leading lines, rule of thirds, and cropping. So let's talk about that. Framing is using the objects in the scene, like windows or arches or trees, to create a frame. Leading lines is using natural lines like roads, fences, or shadows to create a viewer's view towards it. Rule of thirds is dividing your photo into a 3x3 grid, placing your subject along the lines of the intersections for a more balanced and interesting images, making everything symmetric. Cropping is removing unnecessary parts of the photo to focus more on the subject and make the composition stronger. So let's talk about all those right now. Let's do a little bit of all those with this camera, and then I'm gonna call it kind of quits. And I appreciate who all did join the live and is here. I'm starting every Mondays, starting at 12. We're gonna do a class here at 12 to 2. I'll do this live, and it's gonna be the same. Just the basics. And not only just doing that, but finding people who's got the same kind of passion, because I do work on other projects that need to be filled with positions like camera operators and stuff like that. So, boom. let's go with the rules of composition and framing. So framing. If we think of framing, we just think of like how we always watch TV or this right here, the TV or a frame in general, like a picture on the wall. You see where, let's see, hold on. Can I get, it's got some lines? I like it's bigger. I like it's smaller, bigger. All right, I don't got no lines right now. I can add lines. But framing, we can see the middle is right here. The middle is right here. If you keep that guy right in the middle, it looks symmetric. It looks framing. This guy right here got a room. He got a room right here. And that's too much, this room. Everything looks symmetric. You got like symmetric. What else framing? Let me see. Let's see. And it always depends on the subject, right? Depends on the subject. Let's see if we got. Let's see this. What is that? A clamp and frame. I'm trying to get something that's a leading line that's around here. Probably nowhere. I got some examples. So this is why I'm going this live and doing this kind of practice run. I can grab some examples from here and just show y'all. And I believe I do got some examples here. No, I don't. A lot. I don't. All right, cool. All right. What else? So Lord, I can do some thirds. So we go to menu. We go to menu and it acts as a grid display. You can put the grid display grid 1. That's that 3x3. That's how you lead the. You can help with leading lines. It can help you make some. If you want to keep that guy directly in the middle, boom. You want to keep him like off to the side. Keeping those intersections, those lines, boom. Stuff like that. And more so like that. All right. So yeah, thank you guys for joining me. It's been fun. It's been a fun time. Every Monday, 12. I think some guys want to do some stuff later, but like around 5 or 8. I don't know if I'm staying that long, but yeah. Thank you guys for showing up. I'll post this some type of way. All right. Thank you. Have a good day.